Do you know we have not treated one of our own ancestral race fairly? They were the first to move out of Africa and were scattered all over the earth. We committed unwarranted genocide, and today the earth is drenched in their blood. We must immediately do something in our own capacity, because as Bantus we are just as guilty as all others. We dishonored one of our ancestors. Welcome to our topic today. This is Rabbi Elem Dumizulu, Southeast Asian natives disappearing. But before we go to Southeast Asia, here at home, the Interahamwe during the 1994 Rwandan genocide destroyed and killed over 30,000 of these ancestors. You call them, they are called pygmies in scholastic studies, or batwa. In an operation they called in French effacer tableau, eraser, or erase the board, during the Second Congo War. And also you can go to the BBC and look for this story. It's a sad story that has never been publicized. And Hamiti Iburu Ethics Marifa Development Organization today want to apologize unreservedly for what our ancestors did and for what our current governments are doing against these brothers. We are one people. There is no difference at all. Here is one of our brothers who represents the Basarwa. Brother Asnafasi Makelo, founder and coordinator of Dignitar Pygmy Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is where all our brothers have been destroyed, attacked, and killed by our own Bantu brothers and sisters. While we have fought against many other people, why have we destroyed, and why do we continue to destroy our own brothers? However, it's not only us. Do you know that the Aboriginals, when they arrived into Australia and all these Pacific islands, met these brothers who were already there and destroyed them in a genocide that has not been publicized? If you find this, the Encyclopedia of Aboriginal Australia 1994, published by the Australian Institute of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Studies, you find that even this encyclopedia has done a lot to hide and disguise these people. Yet we've got birth cell pygmy image, which looks like this. So it lists some of their tribes, including the Jibagudi, the Mbambara, the Jindinji, but does not mention a word about the stature of these people. In its entry on this about the rainforest region, it records the existence of a small curly-haired people with languages which have distinctive features. But the accompanying photograph of Jinjinji tribesmen taken in 1893 does not give the scale or height or description of our ancestors. There it is, straight. So go to this website and you discover a lot of other details that will shock you to the bone. Scholars are some of the leading people that are destroying us through destroying the knowledge that should be binding and bringing us together. Governments again are on the same page with these scholars that are dividing us by defining Negrito in a way that continues to put these boundaries, which is erroneous, which is wrong. We've already shown the image of where you find the Negritos all over the earth as the first people, or the autochthonous people, indigenous people found in these places on the earth. So you go to India, they give you a public image of India that looks like that, which is wrong. And also like that, this is the indigenous. In Brazil, same story. This is indigenous, this is an invader. This is indigenous in the Philippines, this is an invader. So these are the black Africans you find with all the colors, from light-skinned like Cape Verdean to dark-skinned like the Sudanese, as well as the sharp, narrow facial features like Ethiopians, Somalis today, just like with broad features like what you find amongst all our brothers. So when you look at the definition and study the definition of who is a Negrito, you find that they say that a Negrito is a member of a people belonging to a group of dark-skinned peoples of small stature, correct, that live in Oceania and the southeastern part of Asia. This is Merriam-Webster.com dictionary, Negrito. That's wrong, mixing truth and fallacies. Let us find more of our brothers and sisters facing extinction, probably from many of us today. So if you read this book, Black Civilizations of Southeast Asia, Austro-Asiatic, Rahen Neferman, he explains and tells us more about the peoples found in Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Burma, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, East Timor, and Vietnam. He explains and go into details. So when you look at these people, we are same people. The Negritos you find in Bayaka, in Sangandoki Reserve in Central Republic, rainforests are the same as those that you find in northern Malaysia. And he is now another species who we have to explain later. He's Shewong Senoi from Central Malaysia, half Negrito and half Mongoloid. So that is what you must understand also. The second step, same people, the African pygmy from week 1, they look the same as indigenous Maluku Islanders of East Indonesia. They're the same people. And on top of there, you find another excellent example of mixed Mongoloid and so Negrito. That you find. These are not indigenous. These are a sandwich race that came out of the intermarriages between the Negritos, is again pure Negrito Satan, woman and child from Banduan village in southern Thailand. They go to Zimbabwe, they will never be distinguished from all other Zimbabwean people the same. They go to Zimbabwe, they will be the same. These are Batang from Central Malaysia. Same people, not different from Bantus. Now we go to Taipei in Taiwan, and we want to say that as our ancestors migrated into these lands, they left identical names that you find now in many indigenous African languages or Bantu languages. One of the greatest example, of course, is found in China, in Japan, Hong Kong, and many other places in Southeast Asia, where we are looking at the moment. So you see this island, Taiwan, the capital city is Taipei. Taipei is a Bantu word with many meanings. It may be a question asking, what have I done wrong? Or it may also mean, what will I give? Or what have I given it? Almost the pleadings of our ancestors as we slaughtered them without mercy. What have we done? Why? Why are you doing this? Also, they lived in a country called Taiwan, which is Taiwana, which means we have found it. Japan is the same story. Japano, eat from here. Don't go anywhere. Tokyo, same thing, similar to Japan, is Tokuya. In other words, we are grinding for you to have something to eat. Osaka. Oh, they remember now. Oh, it means this. All these are Bantu names. Oh, you go to Fujimori. All those are Fuji. This Mori. Everything means the same. So, to confirm that, the pictorial evidence comes up. This is Taiwan Aboriginals Banyuyu tribe, 1900. The picture was taken by Ralph Repo. You can go to the website given here. There they look Bantu, straightforward, with no doubt about their race there. So scholars like Albert Chechwat also described that these pygmies confirms the image that we showed initially when we introduced this topic, that they were not only found in Africa but also in Europe, Asia, North and South America, and Oceania were populated by them. So you go to Oceania in Japan, they looked like this first, and then after conquest by the Mongols, they came to that, and this is what they are. Now they have become purely Mongoloid, and here they were still a mulatto or Makarad. Again, the art of second settlers of Japan, there they are, the Ainu, look at them, right? There is another straightforward by image and art of the Iino of Japan by Reverend John Batchelor, 1892, is proper Bantu with no question mark about it. Scholars, again, you go to Wikipedia to look at the definition of Negrito. Scholastic divide and rule tactics appear. They say the Negrito are several diverse ethnic groups who inhabit isolated parts of Australasia. Wrong. As well as correct. Because Bantus are found all over the earth. Tutsis, Hutus, Twa, and the indigenous Aitas were called Negritos by the Spanish, or little black people by the Spaniards. These are all Bantus. Why? Because the word Bantu means people. These are people. That's what the term Bantu means. All these about the exploitation and stuff like that is what they now say to mix the divide and rule tactics that scholars have introduced in their definitions. So in conclusion, therefore, let us say the Southeast Asian countries of Cambodia, Burma, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia have about 645 million people, part of the world population. These are all formerly black countries. They were invaded by Mongols. They fought and lost wars, and at times were subjugated by economic and migration tactics. The same thing that China is planning to do to Africa. China plans to put 300 million Chinese people into Africa. Our leaders should remember that Europe plundered us, America plundered us, many countries plundered us. And today, they are allowing the Chinese to come. They think they are getting manna from heaven. They don't know what's coming. Destruction and the elimination that we are explaining here is going to happen. And soon, the whole of Africa will have the Chinese, and the Africans will be history. It's happening. It will happen, mark my words. Unless our government rise up and put a stop to migration and allow only transfer of technology. Full stop. You can also study this website. Go to this website and study it. www.diplomacy.age blog, and read about how 300 million Chinese have already been planned to leave China to come and settle in Africa and take over. They are not coming to settle and go back. They are coming to settle and take over, build a mulatto race, intermarry. Just the same tactic they use. There is also a book, Pakache Principle. Study that. Every politician in Africa must read that book. And eventually, they will have the mulatto, the Mongol, the albino ruling and taking over. As we come to the awareness of these facts, we must first start by our own personal apology for what our Bantu ancestors did. Pour some libation for that which they did, and begin to appreciate all our ancestral lineages, including the Bushwoman, the Bushman, the Basarwa, the Pygmy, everybody who is Bantu. We must respect and honor them. Subscribe to our channel, Community Buru Ethics. This is Maarifado Development Organization. This is our website, www.maarifado.com. This is Preacher Rabbi LM Dumizulu saying shoot us an email at join@maarifado.com so that we can work together to rise up again as a people and prevent the destruction that we know happened in East Asia, and also to apologize for our own and our ancestral sins, because karma is wrapping us around the neck because of that. Have a good day. Tatenda Siabonga Enkos.